do we expect changes? Because for both of them, the last showing that they showed, we saw the Mosquito comp for the side of DRX. Now for the side of Fnatic, they were also running some double duelists in stage 2. I expect changes on both of the sides, and that is already a massive change in the side of Fnatic with Alpha going on the Vice.
Yeah, a smaller change for the side of DRX as well. They were running the Neon on this one before. Now they've pivoted that over to the Yoru. I think having the flashes is really good on this map. You're going to have a little slower rotates. You're going to lose that on that stun for main control, but I do think that's a better agent for Flashback overall. On the other side, though, Fnatic's still thinking and hovering this breach.
Yeah, I think Breach still makes a lot of sense on this map, even though people have kind of pivoted away from it in some regards. At least, well, where I'm from, there's barely any Breach played on this map. But, you know, there still is so much potential there with those stuns, with those lineups that make it so much easier, especially on your attack side, to really get in there, make life miserable, especially in post plants on that B site. So that's something DRX needs to be aware of. They need to be taking a lot of map control, fighting for the extremities. That B main, A main control is going to be so crucial for DRX on this map.
Yeah, you'd expect crashes on the Fade or the Sova in that last slot. He's going to go towards the Fade. So a double initiator comp for Fnatic. They're going to have a lot of fighting power to go and take main control really early in these rounds. There's ideas to split through top mid. This is a great comp for them to dictate the pace, to be the ones to choose the fights instead of DRX.
And Chronicle is the best man to do it, to fight for those angles, to help you out. His utility is going to be pivotal, and Crushes has had a brilliant year. My head goes to Alpha. Can you bounce back from what happened yesterday?
Folks, we got a dramatic best of 5, and we got 2 of the best to ever do it standing by for every twist and turn. Here is Brent and Sideshow.
And what a matchup we have here in the lower finals at the Accor Arena. 2 teams with history rife between them throughout the entire history of VCT. 2 cores being led by Boaster and Mako. And they faced each other countless times here, but they are going to be tested heavily. The underdog narrative, DRX going on this lower bracket run that nobody was expecting. And they're up against a Fnatic squad that want to round out the trophy cabinet. They want a chance to grasp their dreams of lifting a trophy at Champions, the highlight of any player's year.
And of course, they've already been able to lift trophies in the past, but for Mako, for DRX, that is something, never mind Champions, they've never been able to go to a global event and lift a trophy. Mako's been hunting for it at every single Champions. He and Boaster, 2 of only 3 players to attend literally every Champs.
Find you.
And they've played each other every time, this time multiple. This is a rematch of a playoffs match, but we're starting off on unfamiliar territory.
Yeah, we certainly are. I mean, there's lots to be discussed on the map. Vito, the picks and the bans overall.
But we also just haven't seen Fnatic play on these first 2 maps at all, Sunset and Corrode, so my eyes are glued onto what Boaster's game plan is. DRX with a decent idea that Fnatic might be exploring up towards top mid. Here come Hyunmin and Bane.
Might be tested soon enough. They look like they want to square up for the engagement. That is a fight to be taken. Hyunmin! Hyunmin! Never to be outdone. This kid is shining on the biggest of stages. And to open up a pistol round with a 3-piece like that, what a statement to make.
His ability to just adapt to the big stage has been incredible. You need people like that. And now Flashback tested on the other side. Boaster the better. And that's opened the the path towards B.
Boaster has found a bit of an avenue, but Hyunmin, he's going to be hot on their heels. A hinder, bit of a catch there. Boaster slowed down to a crawl. 30 seconds left to play with, to work an advantage potentially, but Fnatic are being surrounded on every single front.
They look like they want to go prodding back into Hyunmin. That's that last player you want to tangle with.
Could be looking to square up to him again once more. This is an opportunity for an ace to open. Denied towards the tail end, but Boaster has no chance in hell of carving a path to success here. The seconds are dwindling, and with it, cements victory for our opening round of this lower bracket finals in the hands of DRX, leading nice and early.
And that's got to feel incredible to come out here, playing for a chance to be in the grand finals and come out with almost an ace. 3 HP away from one. And it's not going to be on the stats, but it essentially is. Hyunmin, the level of individual impact late on in this tournament has been absolutely absurd. He's kept all of that momentum going.
I mean, he saved them yesterday.
Yeah, he was insane. They took Jing on Ascent, dropped 20 kills against DRX. He responded with 20 in the second half. You know, so even if he did land to a slow start here, I would still believe in him being able to pick it back up, but he's come out blazing through the gates.
It's been a question of the mental resilience of DRX as well. It's a team formed up of very young players and experienced at a big stage, but Hyunmin was the one to save them. One of the youngest players on this team.
I think, you know, it's not really to do with age and experience sometimes. It's to do with your attitude. It's to do with whether or not you take grasp of opportunities when they're presented and have that killer instinct. And I think they've got a lot of players on this team that have it.
Hello, flashback, hello.
Here's another one.
Yeah, a couple of eco kills rack it up nice and early, and the confidence must be flowing right now for DRX.
They've got the Waylay ult online already for round 3.
Ridiculous.
That's a great chance of starting out with a bonus round win here. And when you look at the map, Vito overall, Brent, just to touch on it early on in this series, the last 2 maps, DRX are 3-0 on. So when I'm looking at this map, Vito, I'm thinking, all right, fair enough, it might not look like the most amazing thing in the world for DRX early, but Fnatic kind of need to win 3-0 here.
Yeah.
Or at least land a major upset towards the end on Bind or Ascent. So a start like this, exactly the opposite of what Fnatic were looking for, and pay attention to Hyunmin with his ult here. If they go over towards B, he's got a trap set up, but he needs someone taking contact for this.
He's just holding it out in the open. Hoping for sound cues, an indicator. He's not going to be given one for now, so feels a bit slapdash, almost thrown together here by DRX for their bonus conversion, at least an idea for it.
You also have the cam watching contact over towards A main here, so they'll have some idea. Now that's actually been smoked off with that one way, so a little bit of information denied. Hyunmin will have heard the Vice going into that direction. Alpha putting down the wall, and Flashback off the back of that. He's going for a wander down tiles. What a risk. But a perfect player to do it with the Ghost.
It's all about how you clear that corner. Alpha is dropped in the midst of all of it. Left wondering what the hell went wrong there. Kayak wants the entry though. Be the tip of the spear for his team to set the path forwards. Bane still holding tight to the corner. Close quarters, exactly where the Stinger will thrive. It is traded out and equalized. Still plant down now for Fnatic. It's that 3v3. Looking to again gain a little bit more ground and not content to sit back and relax.
Yeah, they're going forward because they know the Flashback was on the flank, and Mako catches contact but catches a bullet as well. Hyunmin is still behind them with this ult, but can you actually land a big ultimate when you don't know where Fnatic are?
He's just biding his time, doesn't want to reveal his hand, his positioning, trying to keep Fnatic unknown and guessing here. Tap and Flashback, he is forcing the issue in a fight out wide into the open. Crashes, instant response, and sharp shooting from Kayak from afar. Make sure to seal it up and ensure that there is no danger.
Good to see him firing early as well. Kayak's been great towards the latter end of this tournament. He and Hyunmin have come online at basically the same time. You know, took other players early on. Beginning of the tournament, we were looking at Flashback, we were looking at actually Chronicle even before Alpha started having insane games. But now Hyunmin and Kayak looking like the players to watch and showing you early why that's the case. So the Waylay ult, not used, not wasted, but also didn't guarantee them that bonus round win. Now you're looking to apply maximum pressure to Fnatic here.
And a slow siege attempt. That's what Fnatic know and love. It's defined their style over all these years.
And DRX were really struggling with that last time we saw them play. Especially on, well, actually across the maps, but I was particularly thinking about Haven. They were wasting a lot of their util early on. Here Mako just takes a bit of contact, backs it up. I look to try to refight. They've still got Paranoia and Saturate to be able to use here, so it's dangerous territory still for Fnatic. Nothing stable.
Quite a bit of util. That's conversion pass. What's that being used for? A bit of a reclearance, but I mean, Fnatic is still so slow. Not even within the same zip code of where those ultimates are being used. Mako is going to throw it back now. A bit of a rolling retreat.
It's good awareness from Fnatic, really, but it has allowed them to get 4 defenders in position. Fnatic saving util, but as the pop comes through, DRX will have a good resistance here.
Yeah, gearing up for it now. There's a lot of util going to be sent forwards. Hyunmin, here he is, trying to really light them up. This guy one off his stopped. You're kidding me? Smoke in your face does not matter. Mako still alive, sitting pretty to the corner, but not for long. Crashes. Turning a fire brings it to that 2v2. Still out wide, does force the fight, gets info. Knows where Flashback is still. It's calm, cool, and collected with the aim. Composure's there, and a Dimensional Drifter's to spot out this last straggler. Boaster spotted, and there's no chance for him, not quite. Freeing puts a bullet to the back of his brain. That's 3-1 now for DRX, leading nice and early.
And you see there how DRX look to try to take the fight. I think across this series, you're going to see DRX be the ones on defense trying to up the tempo, trying to take the engagements to Fnatic. And Fnatic's job is to bait that out, which they did this round, and still be able to hit a site that isn't stacked. That second point, the real problem there. Especially when you're playing against a Yoru. Gate crash, flashback, straight there on A. And that's a massive round for knocking down the economy of Fnatic. They don't really have much to work with, but they can take more risks on a round like this.
Very much all in here, but with that hinder and the dart, you're revealed up. Going to be falling as a result of it here. Mid being pressured and stressed. It is a weaker buy for Fnatic, so they can afford to take these risks.
Boast are the kind of player that loves to mess around with this top mid area. That's why DRX are also putting 3 players in this spot. You want to be wary of it. The EMEA teams love focusing on this area of Sunset on their attack sides. But easily dealt with in this one.
The dynamic duo really making sure that they can make the most of that one. Now you've handed over a gun to Alpha. Player you do not want to get online. He was dominant in the matchup that they played versus each other, but Mako will ensure that there is no danger, no funny business, nothing that could get out of hand soon enough here. So,
well, Alpha's not even really online there. That was his first kill in the game so far.
Right.
You know, before that, it's 0 and 4. He's also not someone that we see play a lot of Vice. This is only his 3rd time ever picking up Vice. Last 2 within the last couple months, so, you know, it's something he's dabbled with a little recently. But you need to see him being able to take those fights over towards B main, rely on his incredible rifling skills. I think he was the highest, I think he was the 2nd highest rated player in the tournament behind Aspas, who obviously had a ridiculous tournament. But after he took that unfortunate breakout with the health complications, when he came back in, don't know whether it was a little bit of lingering health issues or just a bit of rust getting back onto the stage, whatever. He didn't actually perform that great in their previous match. Yeah. And you're really relying on, I think, at least on 2 out of 5 of the players on Fnatic to turn up in a match like this.
Oh, for sure, because, I mean, DRX are going to test you. They're going to take fights often. Come in and flashback are prime examples of that. They've been setting the pace, meta-defining almost from the way that DRX are playing this Waylay Euro composition, and I love that they made this adjustment as well to the Sunset. I haven't liked it when Flashback has been playing the Neon. More of a fan of when they do sync it up with the Yoru, where Flashback is more comfortable. And listen, they are so eager to take those fights and they win them often.
Yeah, I think it also just gives you such great opportunities on your defense side to have those fast rotates coming through.
For sure.
Something that was really hurting them on Haven too, where they run the Neon. But it's so sick to see our top 3, a different team from each region, all bringing a different flair to the final 3 of this event. A 4-player stack for DRX to open, but remember, Flashback going to be able to reposition if there was some kind of quick B split on the cards for Fnatic. Not that they run those fast rounds often, but Boaster has been throwing them in a bit more than he was at Toronto, for example.
Very
looking
aggro.
to test. Yeah, getting really aggro. These are opportunities, actually, for Alpha to try to take one of those engagements, but he's not in the right position to punish this time.
Very aggressive when you still have the camera, but might not be expected. The entire setup really does hinge on him. He's not going to be pressured unless Chronicle walks about past that box, but mid being contested, Flashback just umming and ahhing, and Chronicle setting this one up for the B split. In through market, Prowler to deal with a trip, and no one left to punish that spot. Camp going to be broken, and again, this is unexpected. Why would you ever think that he could be lit up onto this corner, and it's a war of attrition. Flashback trying to deal that damage still. Ring's going to be cleaned up here. A lot of damage done in the process, no kill claimed, but you can see some ults now being offloaded to Nightfall to lead the charge. Pawns towards the back. Hyunmin's looking to really speed this one up. He's slowed Fnatic down to a crawl. Crouch tucked tight, seeing if they can avoid the ire of the opposition. Again, double blinds it up. Hinder comes out as a result of it, and Bane locking down one of the extra avenues, ensuring that he buys time for his team to get in.
They are so claustrophobic right now.
They really are. Fnatic are trying to see if they can find a way to bite and punch their way through this one, but it is stalled out entirely. Plant has to go down. Alpha's got a heavy task ahead of him. Has to really deal with all of this one. The double dash in, crashes, puts a bullet towards it, and Alpha delivering from the side. The savior when they needed it most.
That's the reason you gotta respect him. And DRX taking a couple of extra liberties in that round, pushing deep into B main, into Alpha's territory, and freeing Destroyed. That kill, though, so crucial from Crashies, to give him credit, too, because Hyunmin simply forcing a 1v1 in that spot as soon as Crashies planted, had to get the Phantom out and win the duel quickly. It's a necessary round for Fnatic to stay in this one. utterly absurd that Hyunmin had a second ult to play with as well.
Yeah, it did. He's racking them up at a rapid rate.
Well, he's just farming the orb over by A main as well, right?
Never
He's done it again.
contested, yeah.
At the very beginning of this round, he's just gone and got that.
Speaking of contested, up the gut through mid. Overdrive now popped off as well. This could be galvanizing, and how the hell do you deal with this one? If you flash back, you've got to respect that util. It's up to Free now. He's got to hold them back out towards market. Ajar with the movement, crashes. It's just trying to make it awkward, but it's not good enough. Not against the likes of him. Real heat up in form over the course of this tournament. He stamps down his authority over towards the B side. Time being bought for his team to get into the fray, into the fight.
Could be winnable here still, actually, with the Steel Garden. We'll see whether Alpha wants to commit it.
Wedding into the back pocket. Corners need to be cleared, though. That's great movement from Kayak. Just a jar again with that movement in time, but it's not enough to overcome. Massive player advantage, and DRX are going to be flexing with it.
Fnatic there choosing to try to take the duels instead, but that's a round where a couple of their players are just not going to be in a good position for the next on the economy. I know it's a weird spot because you're in a 3v5, but when Kayak gets the kill over towards Boba, I think that might even be a chance there of trying to rip an ultimate. Fnatic, though, do tend to be conservative in those kind of moments. They want to spend the ultimates on big, important rounds. And look at this buy. I said that a couple of players would have to eco, but what are we looking at here? 3 players full buy,
weird one.
and then 2 of them full ecoing?
Gonna make a decision.
Okay, they are going to force in the end,
Force,
but
not force.
swapping the guns all over the... All right, so all light armor, a Stinger and a Spectre it's gross.
Not the best of buys. Definitely scraping at the bottom of the barrel for that one. Again, no contestation over towards A main. It's purely mid-control. The sole focus here for Fnatic. Backing away, Hunter's Fury. They see that one as well. That pressure coming in through into market now. The trip really going to be highlighting a lot of these players, and that's just to relieve most of it. Still with flashback going down, and Alpha soon to collect.
Huge value from the Stinger, isn't it? Able to collect onto Freeing, who's gone pushing out in B main again and died. This is a gift for Fnatic, an absolute gift. They thought they were going to have to use massive amounts of ultimates in this round, and actually, they might get away with it. In a really good position now, 5v3 with full market control.
DRX have a bit of a buffer in the bank, but whether or not they want to go for it, dependent on if they can find some kills. Paranoia is going to be good. Connection onto the 2, forcing Fnatic. Backing up. Digging in deep now into the side to try and hold this one back into the retake. Hyunmin swinging wide. Time is ticking though, and with Hyunmin falling, surely that's it. First domino that was needed. Mako will just try and exit and roll and retreat out, doing damage where he can alongside Bane here. As we were saying, a much needed round for Fnatic and a gift towards them. Ultimates saved, winning despite the poorer weaponry.
Yeah, not even just saved. Chronicle actually taking that fight towards the end, got his Rolling Thunder online. So now they have a breach ult to work with in the next 2. It'll make the next round easier, if anything, for Fnatic to be able to pull off. Kayak with a huge entry here towards flashback and market, but I think Freeing's got to stop going walkabout over there in B main. If you want to be controlling B main and taking the fight to Alpha, to potentially Chronicle, whoever's in that area, you've got to have a buddy with you. You can't just be wandering in alone. You're putting so much risk there into the round. By the way, Hyunmin, 3 away from having his 3rd ult online, despite not having a kill. He's literally just picking up this A main ult orb at the start of every single defense round.
Again, no pushback. This whole game plan from Fnatic, putting the focus onto mid.
Yeah. At the same time, though, DRX not really adapting and putting more pressure over towards market. They have a trip there for flashback to play off, but he wasn't up to it previously.
Oh, Lion Prowler again, that trip. I want to really play off the back of this one. Way out into the open, that's a Steel Garden. You're going to be forced to respect that one. TPM backing away. Decider! Pulled out Freeing. Hello! Shorty into the hands of Bane. That's long distance and range with Freeing. Has been set up beautifully still. Jabbed out Hinder! And what? A supplementary fire! Hyunmin, the savior for his comrade, right when he was being stressed, strained and pressured.
And I take it all back. I said that DRX hadn't adapted. It's these 2 players up here, Freeing and Bane, who actually use flashback as bait and then come and swing from Boba to hold on to market control. And then Hyunmin gets played in the back as well with his Saturate. They were so ready for that hit to come through, but instead of stacking inside market, they baited and lured Fnatic in. Really nice adjustment, actually. And that without a timeout.
Yeah. Let's go one step further. Double trips committed to market.
Hyunmin, what are you going to do at the start of this round? There's no point taking the ult orb. You've already got your 3rd ult online. And now, yeah, double trip in market.
Yeah.
So really trying to double, triple down on stopping Fnatic from taking this space. got to imagine that Hyunmin is going to be looking to reactively ult wherever Fnatic decide to end as well. And the buy is shoddy. Fnatic are going for a half.
It's all over the place.
2 Guardians, 2 pistols.
Kayak trying to force the issue as well, trying to take a fight forwards, but that is a good connection. Conversion pass is ready. These players are lit up. Hailers around ahead, so going to be slowed down. That fault line not quite good enough for the bodies. The players ready to swing out and trade anyway. Finding their mark and finding their footing. These are guns reclaimed, but again, it comes from every single angle. Watched for, anticipated, freeing, put in the squeeze. Crashes from behind. Looks to do the damage. A dimensional drift to escape. No way. An exit out as well. This is uncertainty across the map, but it leaves it in the end all just down to Crashies. Snarled up, chewed up, stunned up. Know exactly where he's playing from. It's a essential 1v1, but he misses his chance. And plays it safely with discipline in his mind. Right time for Mako. Then claimed to be main, and now Crashies. Surely it's inevitable. Wrapping pillar. Guessing game.
But now it's not planted for him.
It's a major difficulty. Not even really the right weapon for the job, but he just spots it. Freeing. Back towards it. They spot each other out. And now getting a bit of a move on. Smoke layer down. Haunt is broken. Freeing. Defense in his mind. The captain to cover. Through the smoke. Watching onto the angle. Mako falls. Freeing! Gets off just in time to deliver that death blow and earn DRX that 7th round.
Respect to Crashies for making that one close. Because DRX had them in their palm that whole time. Look at the way that they're taking all of these fights up through mid. It is a half fight from Fnatic, but DRX constantly fighting them, never allowing them to continue to move. They just got stuck in mid, fending off attacks from left, right, and center. Second to last round of the half, and Fnatic have weapons to work with. Chronicle still sat on 1 kill. Unusual to see for the winningest player of all time in Valorant, playing for his spot in a second Champs Grand Final.
Love that opportunity. Talk about rounding out the trophy cabinet for Fnatic. Chronicle got tons of trophies back home. Looking for the chance to lift that second here. Mako pressured. Paranoia will have to be offloaded here. The spacing on it just right. Slowed it down. A bit of a fake TP into the corner. He is hard committed.
Off your feet!
Here comes the breach ultimate.
Rolling
Waylay
under
to
Mako.
respond.
He's still holding down a conversion path, like you said, and that sets it up beautifully. Mako strikes where it hurts. Slowed to a crawl once more. And the flood in from DRX ready to put a stop to whatever Fnatic were up to.
They've been waiting for that the whole time. Hyunmin sat there, feasting on the ult orbs. Throwing bodies in now to try to take down Alpha. You still got to give him a little bit of worry.
Of course you do.
40 seconds.
You know
This
how
guy's
good his
a menace.
rifling can be, but Mako squares up to it anyway. It's a 4-piece for him to finish.
And that's the game plan in a nutshell there for DRX, isn't it? You know that the attacking team is using double initiator comps with massive ultimates. So you just farm up your own huge defensive ult, and it counters it completely. And these players are sitting ducks over here. Crashies and Chronicle can do naught but die. And now Fnatic push down onto an eco round again. This has been a disaster of an attack half for them. Last time these two teams played, Boaster was calling rings around Mako, and now I feel like the prep work has flipped things entirely on its head.
DRX have really come into this one primed, ready. Round 12, last chance and a half.
The only major weakness has been over here towards B main, but it's been in the mid round, not the early round, when they've baited freeing into going for walks.
Massive group up. Ult earned up as well off the back of that orb. Plenty of them to work with if you're Fnatic.
Bane has the Outlaw, 4 players with light armor on the other side, and they are going back over towards mid.
Not ready yet.
Double hold up. Smoke in your face though. What can be broken as a drone used in response of it. Is the acknowledgement you're looking for, Mako? There's an ult used just to see if they were taking up a bit of that space into main. Prowler forwards again. Nothing else alongside it. It's fake pressure from Fnatic. They're looking to end this one on B.
Yeah, it has actually pulled Hyunmin over towards the A side though. So, still with DRX, having 3 players ready to defend the B split, but Steel Garden's going to force them out.
Steel Garden fault line, slowing it down, freeing. He did get out just in time, but that is a lot of ults being used now. Overdrive, and that's freeing, just putting the bullet straight to the body. And the brain of Kayak, double holding up. Hyunmin is fast onto the scene of the crime. Now you tell me, what is that? From the bloody brink. It's Alpha again. Inserts himself and shouts out his authority onto the round. What a stamp to end round 12.
Alpha has been huge for them in a couple of big moments. 13 kills he ends with, 1 behind Hyunmin, who also had a monstrous beginning. But in terms of rounds on the board, Fnatic are scraping the bottom of the barrel just to get 4.
You can't see my face.
Yes, they lost the pistol, but I think you expect more from Fnatic on their attack sides. This is going to be tough to recover on the next half of Sunset.
Absolutely, it's going to take a lot to recover from that one here. Still down with a deficit, but for now we're sending it down to the floor with one of Coach Milan's biggest supporters.
Et bonjour Paris, hello everyone. I'm very glad to welcome David, Milan's best friend, here with me. So David, first of all, welcome to Paris. It's a pleasure to have you here. And you've been able to see Milan's evolution. He started as an analyst and assistant coach, and now he's back to head coach. So how do you feel about, his evolution? Does he make you proud? What about all those responsibilities that he's having right now?
I'm super proud of him. I think he's always had it in him to be the best coach in the world. He is super willing to learn from everyone in any position. He never thinks he knows it better, and I think that's what makes him such a good coach.
For sure. Donc première question, comment est-ce que tu as vu un peu l'évolution de ton meilleur pote Milan? On le sait, il a commencé en analyse, maintenant il est head coach, il a eu plus de responsabilités. Comment tu vois ça? Je suis trop fière de lui. Il a le potentiel d'être l'un des meilleurs coachs du monde et surtout, il reste curieux tout le temps pour essayer d'apprendre des autres. And the second question I'm going to ask you is, we know that you both are a very good duo, IRL for sure, but what about in-game? Have you guys been able to play together? Who's the best one?
Milan is by far the better player, but we do work well together because he just makes me bait for him, and then he gets it done.
You're just the wingman, right? He just makes you go in.
I'm just a human shield.
A human shield for the coach, for your best friend. Deuxième question, on sait que vous êtes un très bon duo dans la vraie vie, meilleurs amis, mais est-ce que c'est pareil dans le jeu? On a joué un petit peu ensemble, Milan est largement meilleur que moi et il se sert un peu de moi comme d'un bouclier humain. Thank you so much, David, for joining me, and we're gonna see if Fnatic can take the victory on Sunset. See you.
Time to find out. They're going to have to really dig deep, pull this one back. Currently down 4 rounds, but you never know with a pistol round. A follow-up, you can always even it up, but for now, 2 of these teams, and when we've been talking about them being defined by the veteran presences, Boaster, Mako, the quarters formed around them, but it is the rookies that define a team like DRX, and Hyunmin, my God, he saved them in a game the other day, and he is off to an absolute lightning start. He's 14-9 so far for this opening half of our lower finals.
I think he got up to 11 kills in like round 6, something like that, when he got his second ult online. And then from there, managed to get a third ult just by farming ult orbs. So, yeah, he was absolutely instrumental in getting DRX up to this lead very early on. And I think you need that. Now, we also don't know what these rookie players are going to be like over the course of a full BO5.
For sure.
Yeah, it's not a sprint, it is a marathon. Not only do you have to start strong, but you have to finish strong too. Here come Fnatic going on a walk down mid to open up their defensive pistol.
It's a bit of a set idea. Spotted out. Chronicle has been lying in wait, holding that foul line in case there is that tower's pressure.
Yeah, he's looking for anybody to try to punish in that direction. Playing a very supportive breach in this map. Hasn't really got a chance to get involved in too many of the gunfights himself on even terms. Here's freeing, re-exploring again. Spots that mid setup has been dismantled and calls for his team to come back in that direction.
Crashies walking around here, will freeing contest it, will even spot it just the shoulder. Not sure if he saw the signs of life, but
I think Freeing's doing a great job here of giving information to Mako, to the caller, of where the gaps should be. Having spotted the Neon and the breach in mid, you know that they were about to go and follow all of that noise over towards B. They might have just missed the timing though. Chronicle and Boaster are onto this.
Big rotations. Fnatic making sure to get reinforcements in place. Over towards A, that's a miss on the dart. Crash is revealed up, so position going to be noted. Haunt's going to be broken on top of it, one way.
They still have the fault line to defend with, and Boaster's paranoia, but Boaster's starting to think it might not be an A finish.
Chronicle is going to come down to reaction times here. He's now holding util, wants to square up and take that fight. Double ups, shoulder to shoulder, him and Crashy. He's doing enough damage. Make sure to slow the approach. DRX really being stalled up, chewed up, and with that C's connecting, trying to spot the tendrils. Where the hell are those bullets going? Time is of the essence. No anticipation for Mako, but it's all being covered. Chronicle, what a time to come alive. Bane trying to batter his way past this one, but with time going down to the shreds at finer moments, it is Fnatic claiming that pistol, sorely needed.
There's the GOAT. There's the guy who's won all the trophies. Apart from the champs one. That one's eluded him, but he's on for it potentially at this tournament. Chronicle comes alive here, asked a lot of, doubles up with Crashies. The two players with the experience of playing in Champs Grand Finals before. And they get it done on the pistol. Fnatic, the kings of comebacks. Didn't work for them yesterday. They went out a bit too easy. But usually you're seeing them recover all sorts of stuff. They went down 10-1 against DRX and still won on Haven. Just in the playoffs of this tournament alone.
Their careers have been defined by it. I mean, remember Lock-In. This team knows how to dig deep, they know how to pull it back, and they know that every single game is winnable.
That's a lovely little combo there. Sees over the top, you get confirmation, you get information on the player aftershock. They're forced to peek into the bullets or die. Fnatic starting to heat up here. And like I said earlier, I really think you look at Sunset and Corrode, we haven't even seen Fnatic on those two maps, but DRX is so good at the maps towards the end. Fnatic need these wins early on. At the very least, they need to win on either Sunset or Corrode. And we don't know what comps they're going to run. Came out with a new one here today. Might change it up for Corrode, who knows?
For sure.
But more than that, you need the players to be on as well, especially with the way that DRX likes to take those dry fights. On the attack side, though, DRX are going to be running at you, zip-zapping all over the place. Turn your sensitivity up to try to deal with Yeoman and Flashback.
Just try and swap them down, but tricky. Hard to pin them down as players.
Kayak's pulled out the operator, looking over towards Elbow, but no dice just yet. DRX instead slowly taking mid-control. Both teams with a pretty similar idea on their attack.
Yeah.
Push the
Focus
defenders
over
out of
towards
mid.
I think it makes a lot of sense as well when Fnatic are running the Vice, because it's not as good as controlling the mid avenues.
Yeah.
You don't have the concrete info of having a trip up.
Yeah, you don't get that cam that can peek through market into mid as well.
Kayak though, this is potentially unexpected, but now he reveals the hand, the operator purchase. DRX now know what's up. Drone's going to be used shortly after, making sure to clear most of the way, and he gets the tag on the Crashies. Prowler to repost and set up Kayak forwards again. This is mid-round information that is critical. Stack of bodies of Fnatic now, leaning over towards B. And top mid. Looks like that's a call to be made here, the 50-second mark for DRX.
Chronicle's expecting them to go market here.
Contestant, smoke in your face as well.
He can swing around and fault line all of this for Crashies to play through.
Forward a peek, it's a horn forwards again, but now this is getting a little bit messy. It's a fault line again, sidesteps and avoided. Sees is good and the paranoia a little bit better, but still, Yeoman lights out, double dash forwards again, but recalled back just to get tricky with it. Chronicle forced out into the open. His position noted from prior. Now Kayak and Crashies, no intention of holding this one down, no intention of playing this one into the retake. Got to save the big boomstick and a rifle for another day.
I like the idea from Fnatic there, that you've got Chronicle in this swing position where he can either send a fault line down into market or he can turn around and send a fault line off in this direction as well. The problem being that they were incentivized to fight into a crossfire for DRX. DRX had already managed to slip into that defense side spawn, and it became a brawl in very close quarters. If anything there, I think you want Crashies to be the one backstabbing and being aggressive rather than the players from Boba looking to try to take the fight. These kind of scraps and small execution errors, probably just a lack of experience really for Fnatic, because they don't want to play on this map very often. It's mad that we have it as our first. But that's because both teams have had it as a permaban at this event at some point. Oh, and that's... I mean, it didn't, honestly, it didn't end up mattering at all, did it?
Yeah, he didn't care.
Hyunmin's just immediately activated off the back of it. Weapons still online for Fnatic, yet to get up to any of those ultimates. Kayak would love to get himself into a position where he can actually take some fights. He was holding the whole of A main in the previous round, and that's still really good information for Fnatic to call around. But you also just want to put your star player in a spot where they can get kills on the board. Early drone pushes back Alfia towards B main. Kayak investigating, curious.
Again, mid being left entirely open. Full extremity control is the name of the game for Fnatic. I mean, they've got the op line, they've got A main control for now.
Kayak got himself onto a fairly deep position. And Bane's already used the drone early on, remember? He pushed Alfia off. So that means they don't have the same level of tools to deal with Kayak. Kayak can be pretty confident on this spot, but again, like I said, the kills are just not going his way. He's got himself on a good line, but that's not where DRX are looking to go.
Full contact, so brave when you know that Kayak is holding on to the operator. And Alpha, rifle aim tested. Hyunmin with the trade. Chronicle, it's a full line up towards the top section of in the kills. They claim at least, and the space is there for DRX. Flashback. See if he can take that fight, but Kayak finally spotted and reveals his hand. He's doubled up. Has some backup. Bane looking to bait. Shoulder just peeking out, but you really want to test that guy. Kayak lights him up, crashes with the follow-up, that 1-2 punch.
Nice ideas from both teams, in my opinion. DRX trying to contact onto Fnatic and caught two players really off guard. The first one, they got on and managed to find a jump into market, right? They overwhelmed Alpha a little, went 1-for-1 in that spot. And then Flashback goes and tests Chronicle. We've got ourselves a small tech pause. But of course, the adjustment coming out there from Kayak is lovely too. Just getting himself more involved in what's actually happening, rather than just getting posted up for info.
Not playing a passive game here. Fnatic, early days yet on his half, but showing good signs that they're cooling around the way that DRX are playing. I've already noticed as well a bit of a change in DRX's play, I think, on their attack side, because when they initially played against Fnatic, you're seeing evidence of Fnatic trying to fight them forwards a lot, trying to pull util out of them. And DRX are opting into a lot of contact plays, trying to save util, trying to get into positions to pounce when they spot a target.
Yeah.
That's why the operator is so good in the hands of Kayak. It's a really good pickup.
Yeah. I think that's also just, it suits DRX's comp. You want to contact at the start of the rounds and then explode as soon as you get into position to exec a site. But while we got a tech pause, just...
Hello.
Hey. Hey, very good, very good. I mean, it is another incredible end to an event here at Champions. Like I was saying earlier, a top 3, all from different regions. Again, showcasing how global a game is. DRX looking to take their 3rd trophy for Pacific this year. Each one would have been lifted by a different team as well.
Yeah,
T1, then PaperX, then DRX. And then Fnatic. All-time greats, really, aren't they? They're the best team, the greatest team of all time, but have never quite been able to get across the line when it comes to Champions, the biggest event that we have in Valorant.
Absolutely. It would be the thing that would complete the cabinet for them, a bit of a trifecta. They've got lock-in, never to be repeated.
Yeah.
Masters, rounded out with champs would be a dream for them, but still one more contender in the face of them, and that is that underdog of DRX. And this is a team, been scary, honestly. The Slayers are the 1st seed. Bit of a rollback in a round, not too sure why.
Yeah. Well, we had a crash on the DRX side, so we've got a round rollback here. I didn't catch it while the round was live, but that's a devastating one because Fnatic had a really nice answer there, and Kayak had sick individual impact, so he's going to have to try to replicate that just to get the gap back down to between 2.
Good tidings here for Fnatic. War further back. Alpha can't really kill the clone in time, so it's unfortunate for him. Triggered early. Now primed, ready for the pounce. Bit of an exec coming through. Thorns to slow it down. Hyunmin, it's not favored trying to take a fight like that. Will recall all the way back into it. Still, it's going even, not quite. Scales being tipped in the favor of Fnatic, all at the back of Alpha here. Doing some heavy lifting now, 17 to 11. Mori falls down, back to that spectator seat. Plant still down for DRX. Looking to retreat back.
Yeah, dropping off in this position is dangerous because Boaster still has a smoke.
Yeah, smoke
or
to
at least
up.
He will do. He's already used one, but the next one's going to be coming back online very shortly.
There.
Dart up in a few. Fault line to clear most of the way, spotting out the players. Hyunmin wants a chance to shine here for Boaster. What a shot. Adjustment though from Bane. Micro flicker. That! And it's really just Bane can't quite wrangle control of that rifle in time for Fnatic. An instant answer back after that unfortunate rollback at a round.
Anytime you get Alpha in spots like that, where he's pissed off about something, he just activates, man.
Oh, yeah.
He definitely refuses to lose in these kind of situations. His attitude is one of a winner. And he's popping off with Jake at the end there as well. I think that's what was really missing, actually, in Fnatic's game against NRG. It was a mentality issue. It felt like there was no one player who would make the big play and rally the team behind them. I know that Pansy and Mike were talking about it as well, but it usually is somebody like Alfia.
Yeah.
And he's at the top of the table right now. Tucking behind, dodging the recon dart as Kayak gets played in a little here as well. You see both Thorns and the wall set up to stop a market split. So Fnatic's setup really heavy around B main control.
B main control freeing, hold on. Might be surprised sorely here. Okay, well he still ends up finding out one. A deep push of Alpha, almost anticipating there would be a second player with him, because why would Alpha be playing that brave and brazen up towards main?
I think he might have even caught a glimpse of Kayak, just for a moment.
Gearing up for the B split.
Yeah, he found the perfect line there, didn't he? Kayak's going to find it hard to get out of this spot, even as Neon. He's got to land the first.
First shot goes wide, it just was not there, and you called it, Josh. You said it and spoke it into motion, freeing. Sent him packing. Head slams back to the seat, same can be said for Boaster here. An instant answer. What an entry from DRX.
They dealt with that challenge so cleanly. We're talking about freeing going walkabouts in B main on the defense side, but they're on attack. He just finds the perfect little angle. Fnatic are trying to set up a crossfire where Kayak's watching the left side so that Alpha can focus on main. And again, maybe it's just a bit of inexperience on the map. Maybe it's not quite knowing the angles and how an attacker would peek into that situation. Maybe Alpha should be a couple steps further forward so his back's covered. But reality of the situation is that Freeing was able to dismantle that easily without being traded. And now the task is just to hold on to guns, because Boaster and Alpha have very little money to work with.
Yeah, they need these two rifles if they want to get a buy going for the next. A few players have built up the bank, but feel that pressure coming through. We'll see if Freeing decides to take that fight and the swing. Smoke up. They're happy to let them keep him.
Yeah, funky little smoke there towards the end.
Very good.
Yeah, I mean, Alpha just not quite having his back watch there, maybe starting to adjust the setup. And Kayak misses his shot, which could have bailed him out. They still have enough funds to be able to go for the op. Boaster has a stinger, willing to take the knock for his team. His job is to make the others on his squad shine. And look at this defensive setup. It's almost identical here in terms of where the wall is positioned from Alpha. Yeah, Thorns as well, but Kayak early on taking the op to look over towards tiles. DRX have, I think, done a really good job at the start of these rounds of not really showing face anywhere.
No.
It's hard to anticipate where they're going to end.
Slow to a crawl. Like you said, always sowing that misinformation, question marks across the map. Despite the operator in the hands of Fnatic, it's a pretty good tool for gaining mid-round information. Makes the calling a little bit easier when Kayak can get posted, but
they haven't been walking into it.
No.
The one round where we saw him really get active was the round that didn't count.
Drone stunted, crashes, is putting on a brave face over towards A. Let's have Chronicle by his side. He could peel with a bit of info if he's feeling the pressure, but DRX are taking it now towards this operator again. Kayak has been posted all game long. Had a few chances. Smoke in his face, though, denies him. The sight line.
They're going to contact through that.
They're walking all the way through. It's a flash forwards again, but that has just gone wide again with a shot. Flash didn't even connect it to the first place, but what a stun. Follow-ups there. Fnatic filling in the gaps, making sure that they reinforce all the available areas where there could be that weak spot. Double dash forwards again, Freeing, doing some damage. Carving out a path to success into B. Flashback. Has a TP as well, just to get into the cross. Has that spike in his hands, and now a fight forwards again. Convergent paths. This sort of connection just into the back. Chronicle was a sit-in duck. No help, no bailout, but Boaster will at least answer back. Flashback and free now in a 2v3. Nightfall now used to get some more of the information. It's going to be two tags. Plenty more where that came from now. You can see it. Fnatic gearing up.
Oh, the
One
TP.
step after another, the TP forwards. No sound cues. Freeing, it's all comes down to reaction. He's not going to be knowing exactly where Boaster's playing. And he slipped the net into a 1v1 now, but time ticking away onto the defuse. Half earned. Boaster taps, trying to pull Freeing out wide and into the open, but he doesn't expect it. Not from behind, like a dagger in the back. It's Freeing to earn DRX at 11th.
It's such a good idea from Boaster, but he doesn't double swing with his teammates into Freeing first. There's trails on the ground and he chooses to ignore one of them and instead put pressure around the back. He finds a really good kill onto Flashback, but he's not there to help his team get through. Maybe just expecting the others to double up together and trade out, but the execution off again in critical moments, allowing just a small avenue and DRX take it. And in 1v1s like that, DRX have been immaculate at this tournament. A normal team, Brent. what are they going to win? About 50% of their 1v1s? Yeah, I mean, if you're good, sure maybe it'd be a bit higher than that. DRX have been winning 79% of their 1v1s at this tournament. It's absolutely absurd.
It's largely off the back of this Hyunmin flashback. Dynamic duo. Hyunmin will dash in. If he doesn't feel comfortable taking a fight, he'll recall back and he'll set up flashback as well for the entry, getting information in the process. So, you know, DRX, not only do they have the shooters, but they're also setting each other up for success constantly. It's a comp that just plays entirely into their wheelhouse, and you can feel the pressure it's putting onto Fnatic. In a matchup like this, unfamiliar territory, it's shaky ground to begin in this best of 5. It's worth reiterating, it is a best of 5. It's going to be a long haul, a marathon, really. Something that the rookies on DRX are not going to be too experienced with.
No, there is a possibility that they could burn themselves out a little bit and not have that towards the end where you really need to put your opponent away, especially a team that's used to comebacks like Fnatic. But at the same time, the final 2 maps are just so stacked for DRX.
Definitely feels like it on paper. Favored for the underdog to carry it forwards all the way to a grand finals and keep that lower bracket run dream alive.
Here comes Alpha, walking down mid. We talked about the fact that in tough moments, he's often the player that drags Fnatic, kicking and screaming forward to believe.
Walkabouts, Guardian in hand. Kicking and screaming, he might have just done it, but surely, what is that?
Where did the...
I'm not too sure.
Where did the shots go?
Need a 0.25 at that one.
How on earth? Has he got a Bible in his back pocket?
Might have been moving. Bit of inaccuracy there, but what a mistake to make in a moment like this, when the weaponry is really getting quite tight for Fnatic still. Bane willing to take point now. Answer back for his team. Still, guns not able to be reclaimed from spots like that, but rapidly approaching. This is Fnatic now trying to apply the pressure and the squeeze. Paranoia forwards. Kayak's damage done, but inside the spawn. Flashback's no more. It's up to Bane now in a 1v3. Ults against him. Steel Garden will push him out to the outer reaches of the site. Kayak as well going to be that human drone. Gets the info, exactly what they needed, and now Discipline played for, trying to set this one up to 3-2-1 and swinging past it. Fnatic are not done yet.
Even with the best clutcher of the tournament on the other side, Bane has been immaculate. Fnatic persevere. 3v1, played that beautifully. Kayak putting his body on the line and setting up with Discipline to close out. A MasterCard Thrifty. And it's Alpha again to me, who he constantly is the playmaker in these kind of moments.
Hello.
Is he moving? Is that what causes the inaccuracy? What's
aim punch?
I mean, the second shot
God.
aim punched,
yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Oh my God.
The first shot just straight up missed, I think. Maybe a bit of movement inaccuracy. That is by the finest of margins. Fnatic getting themselves in a position to be able to win that one with low eco. And going for a tiles crunch here.
Hello.
Pushing down.
Yeah, pace increased. This is completely subverting the expectations. Fnatic, we know them to be a bit of a slower team, but no one home, no one waiting in the wings to receive all that pressure. It's flashback now with that dimensional drift. He's going to be gaining a ton of info. Backside control, Ronin Thunder. This is committed nice and early. Push back. Again, not allowing for that plan to go down, to get it into the post plan once more. Still with that util up. Wall into your face in close quarter combat. That's where it's going to be thriving now. Hunter's Fury, another layer towards it, and there is no comfortable ground to stand. DRX, they fill up the feed and get to that 12.
They absorbed that Rolling Thunder beautifully. All backed up, stabilized, and then counterpunched. Smacked Fnatic with a Silver Ultimate of their own and just won so many of the duels. DRX has got some shooters, as does Fnatic, but rounds like this, all of the important kills going the way of the Korean squad. Nods of approval from the coaching booth. This was supposed to be a difficult map for them. This one that they've been banning repeatedly. Even Paperthin didn't quite have hope here to start, and DRX are up to map point.
That's right, one more round for an unreal opener here. The best of 5 lower finals, pressure into the corner. Alpha, yeah, spotted out. There's that recall, and look at it. They just follow it. The sight lines onto the minimap. The blind is good. The rifle aim could be a little bit better, but still, it's the kill that counts.
Oh, and now a little bit of patience called by Mako. A 5v3 on the verge of winning map 1 of the lower bracket final, and he just makes sure everybody is calm and resets. There are no mistakes to be made here. No opportunities for Fnatic to get back in. They've had to spread the defenders back out. And Chronicle alone with a stinger in the right place at the wrong time.
Maybe the sole recipient of this one, Mako, to not use just to clear that front section of sight. Sees the all clear. Smoke layered down. There's possibilities and potential to play in this one, but no one's really home. Towards the back, still umming and ahhing. DRX so will be able to lay claim to most of this site now. And Kayak is there, operator in hand, still finds it. Flashback now, left to answer back. Can he do it? Can he get it done? The reactions are fast as anything, and surely this is it. TP backing away, Kayak all on his shoulders to survive in our opening map here. The DRX just like that, they scatter, peel up the rug, peel up the curtain. DRX don't want to give any more opening fights, no more engagements. They want to play this one with discipline. They want to make that statement. And what a statement it is, leading this best of 5 lower finals with a win on Sunset.
We said it was going to be unfamiliar territory, unknowns to open this game. DRX came out with a bang, an 8-4 lead, and they've kept it going. Corrode, the next map coming up, we've never seen Fnatic on it at this tournament either, but they definitely have the pressure on them for map 2.